Hey, it's AW and we back today, guys. And today I wanted to discuss this matchup because I had posted a poll. Ichibe versus Goku. 44% said Ichibe with 56% Goku. Now before we dive into this matchup, I want you guys to know how I like to do it. Physical strength, durability, hacks, speed, and energy projection. The reason I like scaling characters in these simple pillars is because these five pillars can be applied across fiction and other verses unbiasedly. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. When we dive into strength, Goku obviously wins in this pillar because Goku has massively crazy strength level feats for a Saiyan. He also possesses high level muscle endurance, capable of competing even with gods. Goku's physical strength is tied into his Zenkai boost, which is also tied into his Saiyan heritage. See, the Saiyans are a conquering alien race who, when they are close to death within battle and they survive that trauma, they become stronger, hence called the Zenkai boost. For years, Goku has trained and fought under extremely harsh conditions and regiments that would even put the most highly advanced fighters to shame. And when we're discussing Ichibe, while Ichibe is the strongest member of Squad Zero, he is not the most physically gifted of the Royal Guards. While Goku clearly easily take this pillar, there is one thing we have to note, and that would be that Ichibe does possess the Heavenly Hands, and these are hands that essentially knock any character or any target back 1,000 Ri or 3,927 kilometers. This technique is called the Senru Susatecho, which are a manifestation of Ichibe's hands, and they are capable of doing massive amounts of damage if not defended properly against. Still, we have to give it to Goku, even though Ichibe does possess these hands, as Goku doesn't have a definite number or calculation as to where his strength level is, especially when he goes into Ultra Instinct mode. The amount of physical training Goku has done, combined with the time chamber training, places Goku as one of the most gifted characters in fiction, especially when we're discussing physical strength. Goku on numerous occasions have shown feats of crazy physical strength levels, as when he clashed with Beerus. While Ichibe does possess a high level physical strength, especially when he utilizes his heavenly hands, it is not nearly as powerful as the physical strength that Goku can emit, nor have I seen feats that Ichibe possessed that would suffice to undermine the feats that Goku has already done when we're discussing physical strength. Ichibe, or the monk who calls the real name, also has high levels of Kido, as seen when he attacked Yuhaba. So now we're going into the energy projection, and when we're discussing energy projection, Ichibe utilizes energy projection to do physically damaging physical force based attacks when he utilizes his heavenly hands. Ichibe also has high levels of Kido, as I stated before, which can attack an opponent from afar, and in fact his Kido levels are like no other Shinigami within the Bleach verse. Many of his Kido forms are not used by any normal Soul Reapers. Ichigo is unique because he can use spiritual pressure to form hands. He can also utilize his spiritual pressure to put a curse on his name so that opponents can't even repeat his name or their voice box will be crushed, as when seen when he fought Yuhaba. Due to Ichibe's Zanpakuto's ability, he can utilize his energy projection hands or his heavenly hands or out hacks many characters by cutting an opponent's name. See, Ichibe's Zanpakuto has the ability to cut power in half by cutting an opponent's name. Goku has very destructive energy projection as well, as he relies on Ki Blast to usually finish extremely tough opponents. Goku's Kamehameha wave is so powerful it was able to go heads up with the known universe buster Beerus destructive Hakai, which Beerus destructive Hakai in its own right is a powerful energy projection technique. Goku possesses intense energy attacks that can take immense opposing force to stop. See, Beerus Hakai is capable of disintegrating matter, I believe, at a molecular level. So for Goku to be able to utilize his Kamehameha wave and able to clash with that level of power and that level of ki is amazing. Ichibe would need to be on a constant guard for it. In many cases, Goku opts to use his high-speed movement technique, instant transmission, in conjunction with his most powerful energy projection technique, the Kamehameha wave. In terms of energy projection, very few characters in shonen genre are capable of competing with Goku in the energy projection pillar, which brings us to speed. Ichibe is an expert Shunpo user, if not a master Shunpo user, meaning he's moving faster than the speed of light. One thing we have to remember is that Ichibe basically knocked Yhwach 1000 Ri away and appeared behind him instantly. The fact that he appeared behind him so fast and he instantly knocks him over 1,000 kilometers away is meaning that Ichibe is much faster than the speed of light, as many of the captains and Zero Squad members are highly proficient in the flash step. The monk who calls the real name is a very, very proficient Shunpo user and a very capable high-speed movement character, especially when he's utilizing his Shunpo. We still have to consider Goku's instant transmission technique, as it allows Goku to traverse the entire universe at will, as long as he is able to lock on to a character's ki. He would not be able to lock onto Ichibe, as the Soul Reapers do not possess ki, but anything else that does possess ki, he would. Even without his instant transmission in perfect Ultra Instinct form, he is capable of moving massively faster than light on foot and massively faster than light reaction time, as when he dodged Kefla's signature ki technique. When we discuss speed, even with Goku unable to use instant transmission, I still give the speed to Goku, as Ichibe may not be even the fastest Squad Zero member, as Onichu seemed to also possess very high levels of speed and very high levels of understanding of Shunpo. When we dive into durability, Goku is very durable when his guard is up. When Goku is doing battles and concentrating, he is a very durable and in many cases a very hardy character and can guard his vitals from being compromised from an attack. But Ichibe is capable of regenerating himself from the dead just by someone with spiritual pressure saying his name, as this was evident when he used Ichigo to revive himself after Yhwach exploded him from the inside out. I'm sorry for the spoiler alert for those who have never read the Bleach manga, but yes, Ichibe is capable of stealing pure spiritual pressure from a character that calls out his name, and he is able to utilize that spiritual pressure and regenerate his entire body. The only reason Ichibe didn't pursue Yhwach after reviving is because his body had just revived, but his spiritual pressure had not fully recovered, as he had utilized Ichigo's spiritual pressure to even recover his body. Due to Ichibe being capable of fully reviving by utilizing a technique where Ichibe can steal spiritual pressure from anyone that calls his name, I give the durability to Ichibe, meaning even though Ichibe's body is dead, his soul is well alive. Ichibe existed before the creation of the Bleach Superverse. Ichibe, on record, is the oldest Bleach character to date we have seen so far. Nevertheless, the fact that Ichibe was able to survive being imploded from the inside out and still recover is an astounding feat, making Ichibe one of the most durable Shinigami in existence. So we have to give the durability to Ichibe. Ichibe, his regeneration capabilities, coupled with the knowledge of Kido, makes him a more durable character than Goku. And when we drop down and we look at hacks, we have to consider Ichibe, as his hacks ability allows him to change the real name of an opponent. That is ultimately the base of his power and his Zanpakuto. Ichibe's Zanpakuto can cut names and reduce the power of anything it cut by half. It's a crazy hacks ability, as it essentially cuts other characters' powers in half. Ichibe can manipulate true names. Even just by saying Ichibe's name, one could have a curse placed upon them. Ichimanji, Ichibe's sword, or Zanpakuto, takes the form of a gigantic brush, and with this brush, he is capable of ink manipulation and name severing. In his Shikai form, Ichimanji can turn into a glade that spills ink from the tip. Whatever the ink touches or covers loses its name and power. When Ichibe releases his Shikai, Ichimanji controls all of the black in the universe and is capable of using devastating techniques that are capable of absorbing all of the black from an opponent, from their blood, bones, and skin. It's a technique called the Futon Tatsusuryo. Goku will have to fully understand Ichibe's powers to combat these type of techniques. For this technique, Goku would need to utilize high-speed movement techniques, avoid Ichibe's ink, and his technique when he utilizes his Bankai. Ichibe would be capable of fighting Goku by hiding his initial abilities. Ichibe could slice Goku's power in half with the ink from his Shinkai, but Goku would have to act swiftly. And one thing Goku would need to avoid is having his base form powers cut in half. If Goku's base form is cut in half, and all of the transformations after would be weaker, except possibly Ultra Instinct. The reason Ultra Instinct would not be affected is because Ultra Instinct is a power-up that does more than increase Goku's power. It also boosts his movement speed, reaction speed, durability, and energy projection when he is in this form. This form would outbeat Ichibe's hacks for two reasons. There are case studies of where Goku goes into Ultra Instinct and doesn't even get touched, as his senses and his reaction time are massively faster than light. And with that being said, even though Ichibe can regenerate under certain circumstances, it takes massive amounts of spiritual pressure. Hence why after fighting Yhwach, he was unable to continue fighting him, because he still needed to recover his own spiritual pressure after regenerating. He utilized Ichigo's spiritual pressure to revive himself, so he didn't have any of his own spiritual pressure left. The other reason is that Ichibe on a certain level is dependent on the utilization of his Shikai to make his Bankai highly effective. See, Ichibe can change the name of anything Ichimanji's ink touch, meaning he can make Goku as weak as an ant or a squirrel. Now, I know one scaler commented he would be able to take away his Saiyan DNA. I'm not sure of this, only because he could not do that versus Yhwach. He could not take Yhwach's Quincy DNA or his Quincy techniques. So due to Goku's fighting style, if Goku is capable of speed blitzing Ichibe with instant transmission while in Ultra Instinct form, he could defeat Ichibe, especially when you factor in the fact that Goku is physically stronger and faster than Ichibe and Yhwach. The one thing Goku would have to be sure of is to not get his power cut in base form, because all of the Super Saiyan forms are based upon his base form. So if Goku gets cut in his base form, he would lose versus Ichibe. If Goku is able to get to Super Saiyan and continuously transform all the way up to Ultra Instinct, he should be able to beat Ichibe in this fight. And this is AW, and I'm out.